Hey, everybody. Welcome to Don't Make Me Come Back There. We are a funny podcast about family. My name is Dustin Nickerson. I'm a stand-up comedian, the host of the aforementioned podcast. And alongside me in our state-of-the-art recording studio above Public Square Coffee in downtown La Mesa, California, is my lovely wife, CFO, fashion icon, and just, bull of buttery love, Melissa Nickerson.
Hey.
And with us, of course, is our producer, Andy. Andy, everybody, thanks for tuning in. Cheers. Mel, you're not ready with your Gibraltar.
Well, I thought Andy was going to say hi.
Hi.
He's working on it.
He's still. Dude, there it is.
I already pounded my coffee.
Yeah, you always do.
Yeah.
You got a problem. Melissa's got a problem, and that's.
I got an espresso
This is an intervention,
problem.
actually. We're here to talk about it. So thanks for tuning in, everybody. Backseaters, welcome back. Keep it down back there. We got a lot of business to get to.
That's right.
We are going to talk weekend recaps. We're going to give a little snapshot into Mel and I's last 24 hours, just because some people go like, "What's your life like?" And we're going to tell you. We're going to talk about, seeing our children's performance of The Little Mermaid in theater, a couple new pet peeves that I have, a passenger that overshared with me, maybe get to some long division problems, also a couple bingo dingo reviews of the Succession finale, which is not for children. That's just for us to continue to talk about. There'll be no spoilers, and Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 as well. Before we get into that, if you guys are not familiar with Patreon, Patreon's a way that you can give a little more to the pod, get a little more from the pod. We got, for example, anytime I post a longer YouTube video, including the full video episodes of this podcast, they get it a day before everybody else. So that comes out on Wednesdays for them, Thursdays for the general public. You get discounts on merch. You get all kinds of stuff. Also, at a certain level, which escapes me right now, you get a meet and greet, a pre-show meet and greet, which we did one in Brea. You guys come hang out. We say hello. We shake hands. We kiss babies. It's a good time. We kiss hands. We shake babies. Whatever the mood calls for. It's available.
We also have a monthly
Zoom hang.
We set our next date
for
June 26th.
Save the date. 6/26, 5:30.
That's right.
Come hang out with us. Whatever, bring a snack. Bring your favorite snack. And I'll bring Melissa because she's my favorite snack. Ayo,
I
we're
don't
on
want
fire.
to listen to you guys chew. So don't bring
so you can stay muted if you do
snack.
that. Also, I am on tour right now, and my next dates are the Chicago ones. June 13th, 14th in downtown Chicago, 15th in Rosemont. I added an extra syllable in there, Rosemont.
I thought it was Rosemont.
It is Rosemont.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You guys, I say this
Rosemont.
not jokingly. It is essentially in the Chicago O'Hare cell phone waiting lot. It's so
right
close to the airport. It's crazy how close it is to O'Hare.
Convenient for you.
Yeah. 16th and 17th San Diego, 18th LA, 21st Orlando, 22nd Tampa, 24th, 25th Boston, 28th Charlotte, 29th Raleigh. And that's June. And then there's a bunch of other dates on there. You guys can check it out. North Charleston, we just added a show. I added Asheville, North Carolina. That's a brand new city.
Okay.
That's going to be on July 2nd. I don't even know if you knew about that.
Whoa. Are you coming home for the 4th of July?
Yes.
Or are we meeting you in Tacoma?
No, I'm coming home on the 3rd.
Okay.
You know, parents, we're going into the summer, and I feel like as parents, I have one goal financially, which is to have the same amount of money at the beginning of summer as I did the end. I don't want to. I know I'm not going to make money during that time. Now I know not everyone's going to.
Most people get a paycheck every 2 weeks.
It's funny. I was talking to Joel about this. We have a very different type of world where we have seasons, we have gigs, we have what a great month. Oh no, we have there's a lot of those months, and
unless it's like commission based.
Yeah,
you sell houses, you sell cars.
I don't know that most people have it. I don't speak on behalf of all groups of people like Melissa does here. Unbelievable. The nerve of this entitled white woman who's like, I understand the world, but it's cool that you do. But you go in and you're like, here we go. Like, just you know what it is.
Summer is just
financially, you're gonna bleed out, but hopefully you can do the tie. What's it called? Tourniquet. That's the goal. It's just I
mean, it's vacation, summer camps, back to school, and then you have to pay all the fees for all the sports and activities.
Yeah.
All before August.
Yeah.
And
bang, bang, bang.
And then if you have like air conditioning, you're paying for that.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
I know, and I know it's hard to even imagine because somehow it is still the godforsaken month of May. There's still a day left of this month, right? Or I guess today, if you're listening to this is the last day of May.
The end of May.
Wednesday. Yeah. Ding dong, the witch is dead.
The spring new year.
Spring new year. So but
second half of the year.
As a lot of people have been commenting, they're like, are you really looking forward to summer break that much? And I was like, well, we are, but it's kind of a different scenario for us,
Yeah.
Like,
well,
I think the traditional, you go in and you both have like normal jobs or one of you is a stay-at-home parent and you're like, oh, they're here all day again. This is not ideal for them.
Not relaxing.
Yeah.
It's
We're
a little different.
jet-setting.
Our girls have an 8-week summer, not like a 12-week. So, and then our son has like a 5-week summer. It's always very short.
Yeah.
So, and then we're gone like the month of July. So it's just different for us.
Yeah.
But
it's a different life that we live here.
We haven't had a summer quite like this before.
Can't wait. Can't wait. A couple more small dates things. I did have to move a couple dates. The Columbus, Ohio date got moved to December 6th. The Cincinnati, Ohio date got moved to December 10th. And Pittsburgh got moved to December 14th through 16th. Those were all July dates. I had to move them due to some family stuff, so check that out. And that's it. Any more updates I'll give you guys soon. Mel, we get a lot of questions. People are curious about our unconventional lifestyle,
Okay.
Mostly about how, we're in an open relationship and have sorry. What an incredible reveal that would be. No judgment one way or the other, but it would
that was just for Andy.
That was just for all of us. And I thought the last day is like a nice little snapshot. It's not typical what the last 24 hours have been. But it is a nice little window into how chaotic the lives of having a spouse that travels, being parents, having 3 very busy kids, and also trying to sustain a relationship and also run a business. So this last weekend, which I'll talk about in a little bit, I was in Des Moines, Iowa, on Friday, Saturday, and then Portland for a private gig on Sunday. So I come home on Monday. I fly home on Monday.
Yeah.
And I land at normally I come home much earlier, but I knew I was not getting any sleep 2 of the 3 previous nights. So I was like, I have to grab some sleep. So I get some sleep. I land in San Diego. I kid you not. Simultaneously, as I'm looking at my email and I land in San Diego, I had an email from Delta saying check in for your flight, meaning I have 24 hours in this city.
Yeah.
I have 24 hours home. We come home, or you pick me up from the airport, and what do we mean? We drive home, but we drive around the house for a while just to talk a little bit and then formulate a plan. Yesterday's Memorial Day. There's no kids. All the kids are home.
Yeah.
And so you rightly incentivize Claire to take a shower. She can have a play date if she takes a shower, which is so funny because then we go to that kid's house and they had done the same thing. They're like, she gets to go on a play date because she took a shower. And you're like, well, small world. These clean girls are headed to the park because they cleaned themselves up. So we got home and
we went to the park.
We
They played with each other. We just
walked a loop
circled
around a park that wasn't very big. We just walked to the same loop. I said it.
There's
I
a
think
sidewalk. We avoided a child learning to ride his bike
about 75 times.
Every 100 meters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
he was running into us.
And I said, I think this is what it felt like to be an animal at the zoo when you had like a slightly bigger exhibit, you know, but you're like, yeah, I mean, it's
You're
big,
just pacing.
but I am just kind of pacing the same route over and over and over. I can see how this would drive anyone insane here. So, so we come home then and
we got espresso.
Oh, yeah.
So that you could do the freeway drive.
So I had
this
to do
is Joel's fourth. He did it once with the instructor.
Yeah.
His
fourth time driving on the freeway.
Drive.
Yeah.
We've been driving with Joel since December. His test is July 5th. So his driving test.
Stay off the roads, everybody.
Yeah. So I didn't want to do that.
You haven't done the freeway drives. That's kind of been my thing.
I drive all
fine.
over.
Exactly.
Like,
You've
the
done the bulk
neighborhood
of the
with
driving,
him?
but it is kind of nicer for me to do the freeway drive and that it's like a little less mind numbing. You're like, I'm just going to go knock out one big chunk. Like I set a timer and we just go 30 minutes away and then we drive back. This time we went down to Fiesta Island and dinked around there a little bit and he drove downtown. It was great. He's actually, I was saying, is like, it's actually pretty incredible when you watch a kid drive. You're like, oh, you figured this out. Great. Yeah, I feel safe with you now.
The progression between 20 hours and 35 hours
was a big one.
Insane.
It was a big one.
They've learned so much more.
Yeah, at the 20-hour mark, you're like, I guess you'll be one of the bad drivers. Like
at
you
20 hours, you're like, I don't know.
You ever get in the car with a bad?
Ready.
Yeah. Have you gotten in the car recently with a bad adult driver? You're like, oh, you just didn't get good at this. That's a real thing that exists is like bad adult drivers.
Yeah.
And you're like, what? Like they don't know the rules or they're just like real jerky. And you're like, I guess this is like anything. Like you just might be a bad driver. You might be married to a bad driver. I don't know. You're a very safe driver and you're like, there's a couple technical skills that you're better than me at. I'm a good driver. I'm a little more reckless, but it's not like, yes, but I'm not like, it's not, I don't mean dangerous bad or like speeding bad. I mean like you're not actually good at this.
No, yesterday I was driving Claire somewhere and like somebody like just stopped in the road.
Right.
And then they had a bumper sticker that said like, don't be mad at how bad my driving is.
Hilarious.
And I was like,
which they didn't buy for themselves. That was like,
no way.
There's no.
Like they were bad.
Yeah.
I don't. Yeah, and then they just turned.
If
suddenly,
you're a bad driver,
if you're a bad driver,
just get one of the student driver magnets. Just keep it on. You get a lot of grace.
Lifelong learner.
It becomes kind of endearing, actually. I think when I see a student driver, you're like, oh.
People start waving.
It would be funny if you're like, they're 40. That's good, though. It's like when someone learns to swim later on in life, you're like, cool. Yeah, no, that's awesome. Yeah. That was one of my favorite things working at the rec centers. We had adult swim lessons, and you'd see people who didn't know how to swim learning, and they were so grateful. They're like, I've always wanted to do
They conquered a fear, most likely.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways. So we do the drive. We come home. The friend's still over. We, we hang out. Grandpa grilled. It was nice. We had a lovely dinner. Everybody was kind. It was very off-putting how nice everybody was. And we took the friend home, got some cookies. In the meanwhile, as all of this is happening, Mel's doing a little laundry. The kids are, I'm like, I have to unpack and repack.
I printed 2 sets of flyers.
You deposited the checks from the weekend.
Yeah.
Like we're just doing all these but none of that's hard.
Like the week prep was making the girls' lunches.
On the flight home, I wrote the outline for this podcast. Believe it or not, I do plan these in advance. I stayed off online except for one thing, and that someone verbatim stole my joke on Facebook, the HBO Max joke that I did, and he just did a screenshot of it and didn't tag me. He literally said, HBO to Max, your move, Peacock, which like that joke made the rounds. That thing was like, White People Humor shared it and Zachary Levi shared it. Like it got like 100,000 likes. It was like one of the most seen things I've ever done. And someone did it verbatim.
And he got tons of shares and stuff.
And people started tagging me. It was just some random mortgage broker. And I typed like, The same thing that I always say when I see someone steal from somebody else, I just go, it's so easy to give people credit, or it's so easy to tag creators, something along those lines. And I posted it, and he deleted it. And then I posted it again. Since you deleted this last time, I'll say once again, it is so easy to post, to share, to credit creators, especially when you steal their joke verbatim. And then he deleted it. And then I did it again, and then he blocked me. But who's this guy? He's
boss
just
level beaten.
Yeah. You're just like, but that did. I was like, I told Mel, I was like, this guy's just some like random dude who's trying to be funny on the internet. Like, he didn't want that smoke, man. He doesn't know about the internet. I know about the internet.
Yeah.
I know what the internet's like. It's not all love. Because go ahead.
No, you had that woman who had a photography business, and she shared your meme about knowing who your governor was during the pandemic.
Yeah.
And she got tons of shares and likes. She was like, guys,
way more than mine. It was
I'm so flattered. Check out my photography page.
I messaged her, and I was like, would you mind tagging me? This has 1 million likes. It was a good joke. It was like in the middle of the pandemic, or
it was one of your tweets.
Yeah,
right?
I was like, I missed 6 months ago when people didn't know who their governor was. It was a banger, and just the internet's like that. And
she blocked you.
She blocked me.
Yeah,
because people, they don't want that internet smoke, and I don't want to be like petty about that stuff. I don't mind it when they just share a picture of the tweet, because at least there's
your name's on it.
Yeah.
Credit to it, like you can, like someone did a reel. I did that exciting whites meme. I don't know if you guys saw that.
White
yeah,
wine.
there was like, did you see that one? Or
I probably did.
There was
a now.
There was a picture of a
wine aisle.
A wine aisle. The name of them said "Exciting Whites," and I said when Sweet Caroline comes in at the wedding, and that went like big too. And then someone did a reel, like in front of that screenshot, and they're like, someone said when Sweet Caroline, like they just read the tweet and then laughed about it. And I was like, I am someone. I mean, my name and face are right there. It's just so, I don't know if you've been on the internet. It's so easy to tag people. It's so easy.
It's just an @ symbol.
It's just, and then type in their name. But again, I don't care as much as long as my name and face are in it. And ultimately, it's one of those things you're just like, I'm just trying to get name and face recognition anyways. Like, it's not necessarily about followers. It's like, oh, I've seen that guy's reels or tweets or whatever it may be.
His white wine.
So that was the only thing that I did on the internet yesterday. And then we got some cookies and got the kids to bed, and Joel did oh no, I also tore down the poles on the trampoline because that was
we
looking
took our net off.
Yeah.
Well, you did.
Yeah, we took the net off because the big kids broke the nets, and you're like, okay, well, I think it's more
the poles and
safe.
the nets.
Yeah.
Need both.
I think it's safer to not have the nets now.
Yeah.
Also, when your kid does reach a certain age, that trampoline, you want it to be less, like, you don't want that net and pole because they're jumping above it.
Yeah, it's a milestone. I'm looking forward to getting rid of the nets and the poles, honestly.
Yeah.
Maybe because of, like, my own memories of jumping on trampolines and drop kicking my friends off of it.
Off
and
the
that
trampoline.
type of thing.
Absolutely,
It's so much fun.
It's a lot of fun.
It is.
It really
What
is.
about when you get rid of the cover and you just have the spring?
That's next.
Yeah.
Because that cover is next. Yeah. Yeah.
That's like an expert level kind of tier.
Yeah,
Like, some don't go there.
Yeah, no.
But if you do, you show up to that
it
house.
just gets to a point where you're like, why am I mean, the pad is important.
Land on the pad sometimes.
Well, it's there to protect a leg more than anything from you going through the springs. Because if you hit your head on the bar, it's going to hurt the same. That pad's not actually padding.
Yeah, the pad is not going to pad.
It's to prevent something going through there. Our kids, Joel's like 16. I don't love him on the trampoline, period, now. Because everything's getting big and high.
Well, the
I'm
issue
kind of
with
like
taking the net down is we have a tree, a shed, and 2 fences that he could climb and jump on the trampoline.
I mean, he already did that jumping over the net. So
exactly.
There's no reason to think this.
That's part of the reason why the net's down.
Yeah.
Yeah. Me and my friends would soak that thing up with some Dawn, put it right next to the pool.
Yeah.
And that was a, lawsuit waiting to happen.
Yeah.
We skirted death a number of times on that one.
Yeah. We get it. You had a pool growing up, Andy.
I did. I did.
Big subtle flex there.
see.
So.
Royalty.
Yeah. And then
royalty,
yeah.
wear that crown.
And then we drank a good amount of wine and watched the Succession finale.
Mm-hmm.
And that was it. I mean, that wasn't it. The night didn't end there, but that was the amount of
Wasn't the only Succession.
Heyo, huh? But it was and then we get up today, take the kids to school, and come in and record a podcast, and then we're going to the airport. Thus, the airport fit right now. So,
a day in the life.
Whirlwind, 24 hours, huh?
Yeah, you repacked and everything.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the suitcases are in the car. We're gonna go grab a little lunch before or after this.
Mm-hmm.
I might not eat because I got to take advantage of that free meal at the Delta Lounge, but I'll watch you eat. That's not true. I get so bored. So, anyways, let's talk about some stuff. Weekend recap. Des Moines, Iowa. You guys were great. You were so much fun.
Mm-hmm.
It's so funny with you parents in the late show. I get it. Late shows are hard to sell anyways, and I got a lot of parent fans. It's like that late show we canceled, and then the early show sold out. It was great. It was fantastic. We sold way more tickets than I thought we were going to sell in Des Moines. So thank you everybody for coming out to that. Like I just got a count from Sacramento, the shows in Sacramento.
Mm-hmm.
Both early shows are ticking along so nice. They look so good. 0 tickets sold to both late shows. 0.
Mm-hmm.
0? None of you? Oh.
Is it midweek?
No, it's a Friday, Saturday.
Yeah,
and it's in
two shows,
August.
Huh.
I don't know. But I get it. If I had a choice, I would be like, we're giving you 4 choices. So making this jump to weekends is exhausting as a comic. But also when I got off that show, the Saturday show in Des Moines was so fun that I was like, oh, I'm so glad there's not a second show. 2 shows a night are hard.
Well, you do that with Taylor.
Yeah.
But it's double the money.
Yeah, no, I get
when
why
you get to that level.
Yeah.
You're like, 1 is fun, 2 is a paycheck.
Yeah.
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 Like a good paycheck. So.
Right.
Yeah.
It's just sometimes you feel like you just have to like work for a living, and like that's like annoying. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. We got delayed going out to Des Moines. By we, I mean everyone on my flight from San Diego.
Mm-hmm.
There was a medical emergency. I had about an hour and 10-minute layover, and I walked on to the flight, and as I'm, walking back on American, so I'm way back. I'm somebody on Delta, but on American, I'm just common folk. And I'm heading back, and I noticed a woman on oxygen. And I was like, I don't think I've ever seen that. There was a man next to her who was like telling her to try and calm down and relax. And we were boarding. And I was like, this is a 3.5-hour flight. You're not going to be off this plane for about 4 hours and 15 minutes. And you're already having an issue here. And so, sure enough, right about as we're about to take off, Captain gets on and goes, ladies and gentlemen, we have to head back to the gate, which you don't. And he's like, it shouldn't take long. I was like, it's going to take so long. And they had to take that woman off the plane. There's due to some medical emergency, which you can't even really get mad at that one. And bad story long, I missed the connection and rent a car and drive from Chicago to Des Moines. Now, when you travel like this, you always have a backup plan. And that was the backup plan. The backup plan often sucks. And that was a sucky one where you had to land, rent a car, and drive 4 hours and 45 minutes from Chicago to Des Moines. And literally, I performed in this outfit. I was in sweats and a sweatshirt because I had also gotten separated from my luggage. All, and do the show, go get some Arby's. I will not stand for any Arby's slander on here. I have no problem with Arby's.
Did you get that market sandwich?
What an original take. You don't like Arby's? Oh, gosh. Such a highbrow, interesting take that I haven't heard. It's been a successful company for like 30 years. People are going to Arby's. Quit acting like you're better than Arby's. It's fine. It's fine. And the Market Fresh sandwich is great. Their curly fries are very good. The Jamocha shake, I can't have one, but they're delightful.
The horsey sauce.
Yeah, just screw off with your hot take on hating Arby's. You're so uninteresting. Oh, I don't like Arby's. Oh, do you love the LA Lakers too? Oh, wow. Wow. Tell me more. Tell me more about your your opinions are just memes that are shared on the internet. Oh, this popular account craps on Arby's. I guess I don't like it. It's a good roast beef sandwich, man. They've got the meats. Arby's is fine. I went to Arby's.
When in Iowa.
Yeah, exactly. And went back to
The airport.
Then I went back to the airport to get my luggage. Now, I was thinking about this. Like, I was on that flight, and we got delayed. And it did remind me of this. Okay. You might not go with me on this one right here. This might be like too.
Mm-hmm.
But do you ever do that thing where you're like really backed up in a long delay of traffic and you know it's an accident? And as time goes on and on and on and on, you're like, somebody better have died for this to be worth it.
No.
Not like, maybe not death, but like a serious injury.
You want to see someone on fire?
I wouldn't mind. I don't want him to currently be on fire. I did because that would be traumatic to see, but maybe I would like
for your time back.
I would at least like to see an ambulance come and go. You know? I don't like if I get to the front of this and it's just some fender bender. What? How did that stop me for an hour? There's just the longer the delay,
You want a payoff.
the bigger payoff I want at the end. I've had ones before where I've been sitting there for like an hour and a half not moving, and I'm like, if somebody's not dead at the end of this, somebody will be dead. I will kill someone.
I don't mind like the drama of like a bunch of cars coming.
Yeah.
You know, but no, that's bad.
I don't really want it, but you know what I mean. The sentiment of what I'm saying there. Nope. Okay.
I think I try to call it.
Oh.
I think I'm there. I'm like, someone died.
Yeah.
That's like I'll rise to that, and I'm trying to actually guess what happened.
Yeah.
Not so much compare my value in the moment.
Yeah.
But I'm like, this is either a death,
I
a
like
car
some
fire.
fanfare.
Yeah. You like
But-
some fanfare. I guess what it is I was
If
on
it's
that.
serious. you're
Yeah.
like, "Oh."
I was on that flight, and I was not mad because I knew that woman was on oxygen. And I did hear someone next to me go like, was it that woman who's on oxygen? And they're like, why'd they even let her on the plane in the first place? So people were starting to get grumbly.
It was a delicate situation.
Yeah, and I was thinking then about how that would be, as a people pleaser, maybe the worst way to die, which is to die on a plane that then you cause a delay. Like you're like, oh no, not only was my life an inconvenience, so is my death. I'm burdening people. People are going to miss their connection as I pass to the unknown.
I think all death is inconvenient.
Yeah, but it doesn't delay everybody's flight.
But it probably changes your summer plans.
Yeah, but your family summer plans. Not everybody, not
Strangers.
300 strangers.
That's true. Their Memorial Day weekend.
Their Memorial Day weekend.
Yeah.
That'd be a bad way to go. Like if I was, if I was like actively having an episode on a plane, I would feel bad. I would feel bad because I was having some type of episode. But the people pleaser in me would also be like, I'm so sorry, everybody. I'm out of breath in this scenario. I'm so sorry. I'll try and, you know what? Just go. Just put
I'll just take the bathroom.
Just take me one of the bathrooms. Fold me up. It's a shorter flight. I won't smell at the end. I should keep for a while. Anyways, Des Moines was a lot of fun. Thanks for coming out, everybody. 2 great shows. The best comedy cities in America will always be a city that is a different color than the state around it.
Mm-hmm.
And that is what Des Moines is a blue and a red. is fantastic. So much fun. Like that's what you want in a city. Just a good kind of mix of opinions. I just feel like what I like about Iowans, and I told them this, is they feel like they're not impressed by anything. Like their natural state is just like a man with his arms crossed, like kind of smiling at you. And that's like the most excited they've ever been. So the joke I made was like, I feel like a lot of you guys voted for Trump, but you didn't buy the hat. You're like, I like your policies. I think you're going to help me, but I'm not going to wear your merchandise. I'm not going to storm the Capitol. I have to be up at 3 a.m. I'm a normal human being with responsibilities. So yeah, so it was great. They were a good time.
It would clash with the Slipknot shirt.
It would. Yeah. There was, I did see that you do go out there. I used to do that joke a long time ago where you would go to the Midwest and be like, they're like unironically wearing No Fear shirts. And you're like, oh yeah, I forgot about No Fear. Totally forgot about that brand. No Fear had a moment there. You would go into Zoomies and it'd be all No Fear shirts and Big Johnson shirts. Remember those? You remember those? You don't. Yeah. They had a moment. They were like, you had to be a very specific type of person to see it, but wear that shirt. But
I remember being in 6th grade wearing the No Rules version, the Mervin's No Rules version, and being real envious of the kids who could wear Big Johnson.
I mean, it's a real statement piece. I'm pretty sure they got banned from my school, but you also couldn't wear hats at my school because we were at bad schools. Our daughter was in her first theater production this last week. Musical production of The Little Mermaid. And it was great. It was really, listen.
It was a good show. I watched it 3 times.
Yeah. Listen, if you weren't a theater kid, no one would ever pick a theater kid. But then you get there and you go, this is awesome. And there's such community amongst the theater kids, all those little weirdos. And, they have a home there. And it's just, I'm sorry, I'm being mean about it. It's great. I loved it so much. I'm trying to be funny.
It was a great production.
It was a great production. And Claire was like in the ensemble, because she'd never done a play before, and she crushed it. She did good. She was on stage. Her smile was great. She was in it.
She did a lot of dancing and singing.
Yeah,
a lot of choreography. Yeah. She was like stressed during Tech Week. I have no downtime. She's really busy, and then like she lost all motivation on Saturday. Two plays in. Yeah. She had 2 more to do. She was like, they don't need the wave. I can miss. I'm just a wave.
I'm just a wave, yeah.
Another wave missed last night. It was fine.
I'm just a wave. It's so funny.
She's trying to get out of it.
Yeah.
So I was picking her up Wiener Schnitzel corn dogs.
The Schnitz.
Yeah, I was like, if we leave now, we can get a corn dog.
Oh, man. That is a low bar of incentive. Wiener Schnitzel is garbage.
Well, it's just right there.
Yeah. It's cheap and it's right there. Yeah. It's
she likes it. So, anyways, we got her to her last 2 plays and she did great. But it was like 60 kids.
Yeah.
8 to 18.
Yeah.
This is like the whole gamut of,
Yeah, and I was sitting there thinking,
roles and everything.
I'd not seen it in a while. I forgot. I remember the basic story of Little Mermaid.
Yeah. Well, the movie's 30 years old.
30 years old.
Yeah.
Well, funny you say that. So I know a lot of people think that like Disney is this like super liberal woke company, but if you rewatch the original Little Mermaid, 2 things stand out. 1, the big idea of that story is a woman should be willing to give up her best asset, her voice, and literally change her entire identity and leave her family to be with a man. That's lesson number 1. Lesson number 2 is that man will fall in love with you when you can't talk.
Women should be seen but not heard.
Exactly. That is like, he hears her voice once in a distance, and then he falls from her when she literally can't speak. She's not charming during that scene. She's an idiot. She's she's brushing her hair with a fork.
Right.
She's an idiot who just came from the sea and can't talk. She understands nothing. The only thing about Ariel during that time is that she's hot. and
Yeah,
they're
but
like that, and he's like, "That's my queen. That should be my queen." He's making her queen. She's not in the collection of women. It's the queen.
He doesn't like the normal princesses because they're boring.
She can't talk.
No. He likes how adventurous she is.
She can't talk. How adventurous? No, she's not
goofy.
She's an idiot. She's not goofy.
She's not.
What about her comes across as adventurous?
Because they go horseback riding. I watched this 3 times. They go horseback riding. They go sailing. And he's like, all the other princesses are stuffy. They won't do it. They're just prim and proper.
Right.
They'll get their
Well, maybe she
wet.
doesn't want to do it, but you don't know because she can't talk. She gave up her. I don't know. It's a very.
No.
Because she was vegetarian.
No.
Okay.
She's fun and adventurous.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Claire wasn't in those scenes, so I zoned out. I just thought it was funny that he fell in love with a woman that couldn't
Joel
talk.
was like, this is the plot of Lion King.
How so?
The father...
You mean Kimba the White Lion? Sorry, Lion King's at 100% a stolen idea. Disney's an evil company. And not for the reason you think it is. It's just, they're just not original. Go ahead.
The father needs to pass on the kingdom, and the young offspring rebels, the heir to the throne.
Yeah.
I don't know. And then that's all based off a Shakespeare play. I can't remember it right now.
Is this what Succession was about?
Kind of.
We'll get to that.
Yeah.
We'll get to that in a little bit.
Let's talk about Succession. No, it was a great play. They did a great job.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to say anything about the kids but Ariel attends a music school.
Oh, our Ariel was unbelievable.
Ariel, when she got on stage, you were like, yes.
Yeah.
You're such a good singer.
Such a good singer. I'm not going to bring any of the other kids down here.
Yeah.
I'm just going to bring Ariel up.
We got the best Ariel.
Yeah, she was good.
Yeah.
I'll put Ariel up against. She's a state level Ariel. Is there a state championship for choir? There probably is. I don't know.
She killed it.
I forgot to tell you that on Sunday, because I'd had I like to have a beer on stage or whatever when I perform sometimes, and then on Sunday I was like, I'm gonna take tonight off, and I was thinking about the best part about going to bed when you don't have a drink is knowing that you're better than everybody.
It's like being vegan.
Yeah, it's the self-righteousness. The only thing better than being buzzed is being superior to all the other humans. That's a better feeling.
Yes, Andy just had a dry month.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah?
And I feel fantastic and wonderful and better than everyone.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm down 15 pounds too.
That's great.
Great.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I had
sober minded.
I every time I do a dry month I put on weight. Every time.
That's great.
Cuz I'm like, cheese bagels. I can't have them, but I want them so bad. I just yeah. I don't know. Well, really what I'm talking about there is I like when I'll be like, I didn't have a drink tonight, and you'll be like, I did. And be like, well, I guess I'm the better of the spouses. I guess I'm the healthier one here. It's not true. I was thinking about this last night too. I was thinking that I get road melancholy. That's a thing that happens out there and I was thinking about I love you so much that if I'm screwed. I've given you too much.
Okay.
It's I won't if you die, I won't be okay. So you gotta keep it together. I was thinking it just doesn't, I don't know. I put too much into you and I think I regret loving you too much is what I'm saying. Is that, I wish.
You put all your eggs in one basket?
I put all of my emotional eggs in your crazy handbasket. And, it's just, I don't know. The analogy that I was thinking is if you died, everyone else would just be so boring to me. It would be like spending 20 years in Disneyland and then someone's like, hey, I know you can't go to Disneyland anymore, But do you want to go to that carnival in the mall parking lot? Like I would
You'll
get,
be okay.
I think I've told you before, like if I would like get on the apps and it would be a picture of us.
Our wedding photo.
Our wedding photos.
Yeah.
And I would just, they'd be like, what do you do for work? You're like, well, I used to be married. I would have to marry.
You just get on there and talk about your deceased spouse.
I would have to be married to someone who also loved you. And that's what we would do is we would just get together and talk about how great you were.
Maybe there's an app for grieving spouses.
Yeah, that's true. It'd just be two. Yeah. And be like, yeah, you're like, I really miss my one, but I guess we can just have this loveless cohabitation together. So we're not lonely. I don't know. That being said,
meeting up at Disneyland.
That being said, there is a new. I don't think I've told you this. There is a thing that you do that's. I wonder how much longer you're gonna do it.
What?
It's not a bad character flaw. It's you're like in our cupboards. The cup to lid situation is absolute anarchy. You are such an organized person, so detail oriented.
You're talking like
I'm talking the water bottles and the tumblers.
There's no way to organize those.
I don't know why. There has to be a way. Why don't you?
Because everyone has a different size lid.
Yeah, but why don't you keep the lid on the thing? Why don't you just?
Because then they don't stay. They could get mold in them.
Well, let them stay out and dry, and then you put them on.
No.
So our system, Melissa's system,
This is a no.
is you put all the cups on 4 or 5 different shelves.
It's 2 shelves. We don't have
3 max.
a big cabinet.
No, that's the thing. They spread out because all the mugs are different sizes, and so it's like they're all spread out over
they're
3. They're a variety, but I'm saying like tumblers and stuff too, like the coffee tumblers, the big old Gatorade things, the water bottles with a straw. There's a million different varieties of there. And Melissa's system is just throw that in there anywhere, and then there's one Tupperware tub that has all the lids in it. And all the straws in it too.
You don't even use any
of those. No, but my kids do. And I assemble those for them sometimes. And sometimes you're like, I could use a water bottle, or I could like I thought about this yesterday looking for a tumbler, and it's so hard to find a match. It's crazy. It's such a bad system.
That's because you only use one like every 4 months.
Melissa, I've seen everyone in the family do the exact same thing, which is you find your cup that you want, and then you have to take the lid bin out of the cupboard and shake it up and hope that you find what you're looking for, and you're testing, and they're all you're like, oh, the Yeti one. No, that's the wrong Yeti one.
The one that uses that because
uses what?
Uses those mugs. The girls have
then why do we have
one water bottle each.
Why do we have them?
And Joel just brings plastic water bottles.
So we have these Yetis or these mugs, and I use one once a year. Why do you have 7 of them and 7 lids? Or I think there's more lids than there are cups.
I got rid of a lot of them like 6 months ago.
Yeah.
There was like nothing in that cabinet. But they just breed. They just they re-arrive into the cup cabinet. You get them from gigs and stuff. It's like merch, swag.
What's a better system?
There isn't one. No, not
not with that kind of closed-mindedness.
It just is, Dustin.
Okay. Well,
why don't you get like one tumbler
I hope my new loveless partner has a better system at least.
Why don't you get one tumbler and you put it away, you put the lid on it, and then
Well, that's the thing. You don't put the dishes away. So this isn't for those people listening like this is not like me saying like the dishes are the woman's responsibilities. Like, no, when we moved in, that was the system that got created, and then you passed it down to our children, who are the primary dish doers now. And now it's even more chaotic because we have one neurotypical child, and he's not the one that puts the dishes away. And so it just gets even more chaotic every time you open that cabinet. It's like a comedy sketch. One time I'm going to open it, and it's just all going to fall on me.
I do think this is like, it works for the 4 of us, and then you're like, this doesn't work, and we're like, it does.
Wow.
Just
So I'm not a part of the family. Wow.
Your grieving spouse profile pic app is just going to be the picture of a tumbler.
I wonder, like, sometimes I wonder if that's true though, because here's the thing that happens in our family. If I really am feeling comfortable with Mel and like things are good with us, we'll all be out somewhere and we'll be like making a decision together, and Melissa will tell me what she wants, and I'll say, well, you are one person of a 5-person family, and that's not what the rest of this group wants right now. And I'm like, you're 20% of the vote.
I feel like you say that more to the kids than me, but
no,
continue.
Yeah. And I feel like if we ran this by the whole group, this might be one of those things that we're like, well, this is just always how it's been done, but we all acknowledge that this is a bad system. You know, I think it had good intentions. I think it's like American democracy. I think that it's like its heart is pure and right, and it actually is some version of that is what we all want. It's just it's kind of morphed into something chaotic that's just not as helpful for the people as you wanted it to be. You know?
I guess the person that puts the dishes away, there's no way they could do that.
I know.
And that's why
like she couldn't match the things.
No. Plus, I still don't think they're fully dry.
Yeah.
And we don't have the counter space. They got to go in
Andy,
the cabinet.
what do you guys do?
Because here's the thing.
Exactly that.
Really?
100%. That's why I'm dying over here, because I'm like, oh yeah, that's the system.
That's the system, huh? Am I wrong? Is
We
that
have a drawer. Like the Tupperware bin is a nice touch. Ours is just an empty drawer, and all the
full
lids
of-
just are in
and
there.
then, like,
I would actually
3 shelves near all my coffee stuff.
Yeah.
Cups, mugs, you name it.
I think I would prefer a drawer because then I could be above it and look down
we
on
have
it.
3 kitchen drawers.
Right. We don't
So
have a big
there's-
kitchen.
It's not happening.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
I'm not that successful. But yeah, you have
Sorry
to
for the
reach-
Oh,
flex on my privilege.
Yeah.
Pool and
We
the
have a
drawers.
drawer by the pool. You have to reach up to grab the thing and bring it down.
It's the pool kitchen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what's nice though is we are phasing out of a lot of like the
sippy
little kid cups.
Well, that's what I was gonna say.
Not phasing out. We've been out of them for a while.
Okay, but with all the like, this, the hydro flasks, the Nalgene's, the Stanley mugs, they are essentially sippy cups,
Right.
because they have the lids and the straws and so that's the whole issue.
And the movement was intended to support a single-use mug where you wouldn't need to buy multiple, because you
Right.
could recycle and reuse the
Right.
same one.
Right, which I like.
And then every year you have to take the cup and see if you actually still own the lid that matches to it,
Right.
or
Yeah. Okay.
get rid of it.
Okay.
So
I'll give it to you. I want to hear about your cup system. Shoot us emails at, this will be our new AirPods debate, because shoot us emails at dontmakemecomebackthere@gmail.com. Tell me, am I wrong? Am I an idiot here? Is this the system? Are Melissa and Andy right, saying this is the system? This is the only system that exists? Tell me a better system. Tell me I'm an idiot. Inspire us to greatness. I don't know, but help me. I don't know if we're supposed to hang them on a clothesline. I don't know what our options are. Good. All right, let's talk about a couple things real quick. One, let's just do the bingo dingos and get out of here. Very brief. We watched Succession last night. We're gonna do this isn't a bingo dingo because again, that's for family stuff. This is. You said something yesterday as we were going on our walk around our exhibit at the zoo. You said, "Oh no, I accidentally watched West Wing." Which, you're like, I didn't mean to watch the hit political show, because it does get more political. It's at first it's very businessy, and then you're like, oh,
it's politics, and I don't like politics.
Yeah, but you did like this show.
I was scammed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched a West Wing series.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize I was doing it.
To me, the word that I like to use at the end of a series is not good, bad, like, love, is satisfied. Were you satisfied at the end of the season? So, for example, or the end of the series. So, for example, like I watched the end of Peaky Blinders and I was like, I'm not satisfied. And then I was like, oh, that's because they're doing a movie. Got it. Lost you were like, that was the least satisfying finale in the history. Seinfeld, I know some people didn't love that episode, but it was satisfying, like, oh, it was enough of Schitt's Creek had a very satisfying end. You kind of tie up a lot of loose ends. Larry Sanders had a very satisfying end. There's a lot of, I'm just talking about shows we've been watching recently. Did you feel satisfied at the end of this after, was it 4 seasons, 3 seasons?
I did.
Yeah.
I did. I thought the last season really like stretched out in the sense that you're like, just end it.
Right.
Right.
Like Andy here was telling me he's in the middle of the final season right now, and it's the scene. This doesn't spoil anything. It's doing where Kendall is doing the presentation for the Living Plus.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, you only have a few episodes left, but it does get pretty dragged out. Like there is one.
Yeah, it's kind of slow.
One storyline, one tension that they build. It's that for the last like 4 or 5 episodes. That being said, and they keep getting longer too. They're very long episodes.
Yeah, I was definitely satisfied with it.
Good.
I liked it.
Yeah, I think that at the end of it, you just you kind of look like, did this give me a very satisfying character arc for these people that I was invested into, and does it make sense for who they are and what they've done and where the plot could have gone? Does all of this line up, and was it creative, and were there twists and turns? And yeah, I think it was great. I think it was really, really good. I wonder if Succession will be a show where it sticks with people, like
a cult classic. Or...
Oh, I don't think it's a cult classic. I think it was too big for that. But like, West Wing might be a good comparison, though. I think West Wing was on TV for a lot longer. But there are people who, like Aaron Weber, former front seater. Aaron Weber talks about, he's brought up West Wing to me casually, like 6 times. It's just, if that was your show, did you watch West Wing, Andy?
I did. My parents did.
Yeah.
But then I got into it later. Like I went back and watched it, and I actually really enjoyed it, watching it as an adult. Like
yeah, people reference it like all the time.
Yeah, but it was not. I don't. You're right that it wasn't like a cult classic. It was too big to be a cult classic, but it wasn't like the biggest show on TV. Maybe it was. I don't know. I
think it's a pretty solid staple show about like politics. You could say it's about politics, but it's also an entertaining show about the presidency. Like it's probably one of the best shows like that.
Yeah, and it was
24.
Right, in 24. Well, and there was what was Kevin Spacey's show that's now weird because what was he where he was?
Oh, House of Cards.
House of Cards.
So dark though.
So
that's such a lean, very good and
built Netflix.
Yes.
House of Cards did.
Yeah.
But also is so weird now because he ended up being so creepy. Because he's creepy in the show, and a lot of the creepy stuff, you're like, ooh, this is harder.
It wasn't acting.
Yeah. And then he did that video after his allegations where he's like, "Let me be frank." Did you ever see that?
Oh no, I did not.
He did
see that.
made a video of just saying like, "It's fine that I'm this way. Let me be this character." The character's name is Frank Underwood. It was awful. He's the worst. But anyways, so very satisfying ending. Quick bingo dingo of Guardians of the Galaxy. Here's my only negative take of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. My only negative take about Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 is some kid is gonna get rabies because they made raccoons too cute in that movie. They made raccoons way too endearing and adorable of a character for a child to see. You cannot hug a raccoon.
It's wild.
That is a wild animal that is gonna bite you and give you all the diseases. Every disease you could imagine is in a raccoon's mouth in his little gloves. Those aren't safe gloves that he's wearing. Those are claw-filled. You can't. Raccoons are really, it's God's mistake that raccoons are so cute because they hate you and they want to eat your trash and they want to use their little fingers to scratch your face and tear you up and give you all the diseases. But they're so cute, and they're so cute in the movie. The baby raccoons are so cute.
So cute. Yeah.
It's my only complaint. So James Gunn, I don't know if you could I don't know. Is there, I mean, really any wild animal you shouldn't go up and hug anyways, but I just feel like because raccoons are domesticated anyways, or not, they're not domesticated, but they're amongst us. They're just around. I just feel like some kid.
Also, it's not a little kid movie.
Well, that'll parlay into the
that
actual review
that
here.
That will help.
Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 is my review of that movie is the crying Jordan meme. I cried the whole time. I just cried the entire from the opening scene till the end. And you will get no more satisfying of a character arc than Rocket Raccoon's. In all of MCU, it is a great payoff, start to finish. So good. For him specifically, and really the entire movie. But you go first. So we talked about this before. You saw
my review.
Yeah.
I saw it with our teenagers, but I also didn't watch a lot of it. I just looked away.
It's great. Listen, do not take your little kid to see this movie. I cannot. You probably already did, and you made this mistake. But it is a very intense movie. Melissa didn't.
There's a lot of animal cruelty.
There's a lot of animal cruelty in it. There's just some really intense storytelling and lines, and even some of the non-animal stuff is pretty intense and high stakes. And it's like dark's not the right word, but it is like it's very, very heavy. I mean, I guess dark is the right word, but
yeah, I mean.
It's a heavy flick.
All the Guardian characters have like experienced so much loss.
Right.
That's what like unites them.
Yeah.
It's like they don't have their families or their
it
loved
is
ones.
very hard to make good trilogies, and it's very hard to make good trilogies in the middle of the larger empire that is the MCU. Guardians is by far the best of them. By far.
It's great.
It's so good. I mean, Cap's is really good too, but then Cap's end is Civil War, and you're like, well, that didn't really count. That's a whole ensemble film. That's not just him. But from all three Guardians movies are so good. The Christmas special was fun, for goodness sakes. Yeah, it was a good time. And for as heavy as this movie ends, the last 45 minutes, the third act, is just fun and great and emotional and has a great payoff and very satisfying, to use that word again. They kept the stakes like high. They didn't erase any of the like heavy stuff that had happened before. It was really, really good. It was a villain that like they make a lot of villains in like a Thanos or a Killmonger or the submarine, where you're like the submariner Namor, you're like, I get where they're coming from. I kind of relate to it. There's none of that in this. He's just a sociopath. He's just an evil guy who you hate the entire time. Yeah. And then so that's kind of that's fun to have such a clear. Every once in a while, it's nice to have a non-sympathetic antagonist. So it's great. Can't recommend it enough. 10 out of 10 bingo dingos. Oh, we only do 5. 5 bingo dingos. 5 out of 5.
Yep.
Great.
So good.
All right. I think that's it. Everybody, shoot us some emails at dontmakemecomebackthere. And have a good day, everybody. Bye. Hey there, everybody. Wanted to give a special shout out to our As Essential as Oils patrons. That's our highest level patron, $25 up in a month. Thanks so much for supporting the podcast. That's Adam Bush,
Allison Nelson,
April Griffiths,
Bonnie Galindo,
Caroline Crimmins,
Carrie Teague,
Code to Grow,
Courtney Eibling,
Demarius Diaz-Stevens,
Dave and Melissa Cox,
Dave Hoagland,
Farrah Journey,
Isaac Teron,
Jason White,
Jennifer Ashley Downs,
Jessica Sewell,
Jordan Cowan,
Lori Amos,
Matt and Sam Slosdom,
Nathan and Jennifer Merritt,
Nicole Carraz,
Rachel Wilson,
Rachel Kennedy,
Robert and Nellie K. Penn,
Stephen Mena,
and Tiffany Payne.
Thanks so much, everybody, for supporting the pod. Appreciate you so much.